but they are also on a 6-map losing streak, and they haven't exactly got it as like a primary map there. So I feel like having this one in for the map pick over of the BP5 side indicates we're probably going to a 3-map affair. I kind of want to lean towards eSuba as well here. Like, I feel like they might be in a stronger position.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't think either team's going to be able to have that 2-0. I'm looking at this going 3 maps and going the full distance. And for BP5, they're going to start off on that CT basis. A very heavy stack out towards that ramp default to start off. And Corey, he's the only defender out here at B.
Taking those taps to take first engagement against the T side line. He will engage, but will not get a kill. Not much tag damage being done to the T side either. Instead, Bloggish just wraps over, gets his kill. Aaron can trade back to a 4-on-4. He's smoked off at the cross, and the bomb can go down for it.
Now, for eSuba, they're not deciding to go all that aggressively on this post-plant position. Instead, just go back out to the stairs area itself. That's where Petito's going to start wrapping in from.
Eyes set, wraps in for the USP. Tries to begin to catch off Luco. Luco on the corner, tapped up. Petito gets it to the advantage for eSuba. Twist is close. He's going to have to get checked in by Fleaver. Makes his way around that corner. Twist still gets his kill. Coolio and Aaron with their responsives, and that will clean house against eSuba, leaving the pistol round for BP5.
Yeah, well handled from BP5, and what it comes down to is that first duel out towards the B stairs, because really, that just allows the sandwich to come through on that retake itself. The P250 aggressing forward, losing out that fight, and as soon as Luco's not able to win it, things get very difficult. They start wrapping in from that mid portion, getting into the site itself, and allowing the Hungarians to win their first round. eSuba did get a bomb plant, so they will be forcing it up into round 2.
Yeah, 3 Galils, 1 Mac 10, 1 Tech 9. And M4s across the BP5 board with the SMG still in for Corey's part over on the CT bases of the defensive. Savannah make his way into the early defaults for eSuba. Try and play out towards the A site this time.
He was an interesting player to keep an eye on in that Fiend game in the upper bracket quarterfinals. Again, 18-year-old, hasn't had many experiences of playing on pro teams before joining up with this eSuba side, and probably one of the star players that we can keep an eye on for going forward for this Czech team.
Slow call, contact in from Aaron. Expecting someone to make their way in from the alley position, and it's likely that someone might do so here for eSuba. They're currently going for wall bangs and spraying through on the boost spots. Smokes and Molotovs and all sorts in bound position. Woke up to angle, will try and suppress the T's out at the Tarps angle. Which might just be more time stalling with 60 seconds remaining. eSuba have got to act.
I don't have many players over to this A side at all, and Twist even just peeks with that flash, wins out that first duel. Petito is desperate for a bit of a fight back, and they know that he's aggressing forward.
And to keep this up, as Petito wraps back, sees 2 more T-side players. They do get tagged up pretty heavily. Savannah and Twist are extremely low. Blogger's going to try and get that bomb over towards Savannah. If he's seen at the edge of that smoke, that could be enough to get the kill. Petito just fires through said smoke, brings it back to a 4-on-4. Luco's going to get forced out, sprayed back by Fleaver as well, as 2 more picks come in for the CT forces. And eSuba are just falling apart at the seams. 20 seconds, and Twist trying to make his way in from the side alley angle. Eventually going to get caught off by Fleaver at low HP, who turns it into a triple kill and turns it into a second round.
Very well handled coming in from BP5, and even though the first initial duel didn't really go their way, it was just how late they'd forced that bomb to not go down, and then as soon as the smoke starts dissipating and they're putting incendiary down onto the site itself, it makes it really difficult to get a post plant in. And for BP5, even though they don't play a massive amount of Vertigo in HLTV, they actually played a lot of it at the beginning sort of few games of their advanced season, so it does show that they do get some results and play quite a few officials on this map.
Solid start for the CTs at the moment. Leave picks up that opening onto Twist. Of course, it is an eco round for eSuba. No bomb plant this time, so no Kevlar or utility to back up the upgrade pistols and the Beagles. P250 on one player as another player will fall towards that mid control. Blog it's down, and now Luco also to fall. Savannah and Petchin, not much else that they can do. Just picked apart by the CT forces. Easy as for the 3-0 start, and eSuba have guns now.
This is a chance to be able for them to start creating a bit of pressure in the early stages of this T side. So far for BP5, haven't really been challenged. They've been able to farm up a decent amount of money. Won't be able to get the AWP out for Fleave just yet, so keep rocking those M4A1Ss. Notice how many M4A1Ss there really are, Jay. I wonder how many teams are going to start moving over to that now with sort of the new updates coming in.
Well, all 5 of them out for the CT forces. I've always been an M4A1S fan. At least ever since they increased the clip size to 25. At that point, it just felt more right for me. So, I'm a big fan of those buffs. Kills in for Aaron. He's a big fan of getting those opening kills, which the M4A1S will assist on. Savani first to go down.
I like the setup coming through for BP5. They're aggressing out from B stairs. They're keeping aggressive moves out from the ramp position itself. Could get themselves a 5v3. Yeah, Luco does strike out to the B stairs position itself to get a pick back. In terms of damage, though, there's so much being done to this T side.
Still so much aggression in from Corey as well. You can see him watching at the entryway to the stairs. He might have gone a bit too aggressive, though, as he actually gets caught off by Luco, and they've read the idea that the B site's completely open.
And that's just a misread coming in for BP5. That's getting too hungry in the situation. There was no need for that aggressive move. And now you've got to wonder how likely this retake is really going to be. Fleeve taking a fair bit of damage from that molly too.
Blogger sparing down with the AWP ready for Aaron next up. M4 swing, great flick, man advantage gained by eSuba. Nades on to Fleeve, Bedito untagged, but also without an opportunity. Get into the side. Blogger's ready. Does get swung upon with the Ferrari peak. A 2v2 now comes back to favor, but Flea falls quickly, and Bedito's also going to follow. And eSuba will find their first round in this map.
Oh, what a way into the round from Luco. He's just lurking out from the B stairs and out from ramp. They're losing so much, aren't they? They lose a couple of players. There's even the AWPer getting tagged up quite heavy. And straight away, working on the edge of the smoke. Aggression comes in. All right, this is when we start turning things around. Great shot comes into Fleeve on that retake. Still not enough to get the round together. They will be able to afford the AWP down on Fleeve.
Yeah, big greens in for him. Bloggers has his AWP out towards the A site on ramp. Leaning and look towards the tarp's position, but so far so little is going to be gained here. The CTs are not aggressing out that particular position. They're up top of ramp. Trying to find any aggressive players here from the T side. Aaron's going to flash in and allow a bit of a peek for Bedito, assuming he wants to go for it. He does back off in the end, play a bit more of a standard passive position. The aggression is over in the B side of the map.
Now, BP5 are just getting super hyper aggressive, at least in terms of the util usage. Yeah, maybe they're not just getting very dry and initiating into a lot of fights. They're making it difficult to get map control, and this is now forcing eSuba to pretty much regroup out from the ramp contact itself. Savannah's not seeing anything in terms of a boost up or an aggressive move out from this alley entrance itself. Minute on the clock, you wonder if they're going to molly out the sandbags.
Savannah forced away. India comes on towards the alley entrance for the time being of the CT side, and Molotov's used over towards the B site over a banger to force CT players away. And as Molotovs will come in towards that side alley entrance, try and force Bedito back, which will be successful for the time being. They've still got that sandbags player and 40 seconds to work with.
This is getting quite slow now for eSuba. Molly goes out, they'll know exactly where Aaron is, and from here they can just keep putting more nades into his position.
Believe AWP M4 has seen at least one player, may have spotted out that second man as well. Incendiary on for Aaron, swing out, Petrin gets caught, so does Bloggis. 2 kills for him, flick back for the triple, does his damage, not quite getting the kill just yet. The AWP meanwhile sees players coming in, looking for the headshots, and Aaron still holds on for his triple kill eventually. The MAC-10 overwhelms, and the AWP flick not quite as good as they'd like it to be, so a 2v2 as the bomb goes down.
Why are we seeing the peek up on that CT's position out from the orange angle? There was no need for Fleeve to get right up aggro. Now it comes back to a 2v2. Aaron's done so much work in the round, they might not even convert it.
Yeah, no kits, Incendiary, a flashbang, a dry face for Corey will flash himself or get flashed in by his teammate, but still, Savannah can get that kill together and deny any potential in the round for the CT side. Coolio still set to clutch, has picked up a kit, will tap that bomb once, try and force the T side players forward, especially out on ramp. A double face will come in as Luco looks to sight, sees nothing, and Coolio recognizes he might be out of this one. 10 seconds to the clock, the AWP's at his feet, the AK's at his feet. Savannah might have his back turned, and he gets that kill in the end. Quadra out for him as he recovers just as well as Aaron did.
Yeah, that's a great round in for Savannah, but my goodness, imagine how tilted Aaron is, because he did so much in this round. He gets 3 kills from the sandbags, and he's like, right, just don't peek, play the numbers game, and then Fleeve just aggresses up from orange itself. The backstab in terms of the 1v2 doesn't quite come through. BP5 getting reset, and this is some of the frustration I have with this Hungarian side, is that they've got so much experience playing together. It's just like, what is going on with some of the decision-making in some of these situations?
Definitely not fantastic for the early game. BP5 still hold a lead, but they do not hold the man advantage here in this eco. Blogis catches the shoulder, the elbow. Slight body of Bedito, an easy shot to shut him down. MAC-10 as well in for Twist. Great adjustment against Fleeve's part, but Fleeve could not hit a shot. It was a 5v3.
BP5, they're just hoping for some damage in a round like this. You don't have a crazy amount of upgrades. Go for a gamble stack. Try and see if you can set up a crossfire out from this mid position. And for eSuba, they've left ramp entirely. They're going back over to the B stairs. And honestly, if they go in for a B walk or just a contact play, the CTs could just try and set themselves up for some sort of retake. Try and get in behind the utility, spam away, and just hope to get a pick or two.
Molotovs in, smokes down. AK of Luko will lead the charge. Straight in and out, looking towards the CT favor. Can't see anybody. There's a boost up for the Deagle of Aaron, trying to look to that backside. I don't think he's been spotted yet. Eventually, they should be able to catch him off, and eventually the CTs are going to have to make their moves in to try to go for the retake. Without a kit or utility, it seems impossible for them to pull anything out of the hat on this one. Mac Teller twist takes face, gets Coolio, wraps it a bit further. Nice flash in, nice kill on Corey. Extra money being gained, $1,800 so far for the Mac-10. And now Rapper again against Aaron will look for this quadra, and that's exactly what he'll get. Plenty of money, a fantastic round. All 5 alive for eSuba.
Do you know what I really love in that round, Jay? Is just the composure, right? They've been able to get themselves a couple of picks. Notice how much utility goes down to that B site. They've got cross smokes, they've got double mollies, they've got flashes, because you will get some teams on the anti-eco where they just want money. They just want to get the round over and done with. And it wasn't careless, was it? It was all thought out in the way they wanted to attack that B site. Full util sets coming through. Badito going for an aggressive move out from the mid position, at least spots the AWP early.
Can't quite get the kill, but neither can the CT side. Corey will be able to get that first frag on Savannah. Petin will trade it on the man. Blind spray from Fleeve also coming up pretty good with the M4s. So far, the blind sprays through smokes have been placed extremely well by BP5. Petchin forcing forward against Aaron, and the M4 is just so off position, firing at the sandbags rather than adjusting to the T-side player himself, caught in panic. And now the CT players get faced on from that B side. An adjustment for Luko will find Coolio. And Badito can't get that trade because he was tagged up in that particular engagement, so it's back to a 2-on-2. But with Badito being so low, he needs support from Fleeve because the nade is going to finish the job.
Jeez, what an entry that was. That really looked like Badito had the perfect crosshair placement, had the perfect angle to deal with that walk towards the top of stairs position itself. Fleever's got the backstab, but Petchin's thinking about watching it.
He's playing double duty though, going to try and support the main entrance. Ooh, timing's everything, but Fleeve still gets that kill. And plant behind the double stack is where Twist's going to go with this one. No time to rotate, now just got to take the engagement directly, and Fleeve catches off the shoulder, exploits that angle to his own triple, and gets BP5 back in the lead.
And that's an excellent round from Fleeve. Just being able to isolate those individual picks, being able to read the play really well. When you know that bomb goes down and you're coming up for the B stairs position, if you're not seeing it straight away, you know it's behind default. You know it's behind the double stack boxes. So, okay, where's he going to be able to position himself? He's probably not going to wide swing me, so he's going to try and see if he can get further back, adjust the angle for himself, and just read that incredibly well. And to think that he even started the round with that kill through the smoke down at ramp.
What a swing from Luko. You must imagine that plays like that are going to make the difference for eSuba and get them a little bit of an edge. The better fraggers have been BP5, however. Again, these sequences to catch off angles and to pick in the right times. Plenty of multi-frag potential as well for these guys. eSuba have got to find a way of shutting it down early. They have got guns back out, of course, with the bomb plant bonus and the money they built. The economy is not so great for BP5, however.
You're definitely right when it comes to the multi-frag potential. We're seeing a lot of rounds from BP5 where players are putting up 2, sometimes even 3 kills each. Out to this ramp default. eSuba haven't had a lot of pace. It's been quite passive.
Also, Corey looking at that gap in the sandbags. Expecting T-side players to force forward, but right now eSuba are happy to play behind the smokes and just wait here. Warp in for Blogis. Can't see Corey or anyone else. No one's making a move on either side here.
Oh, Corey's going to get caught off. You'd have to imagine he's going to start swinging out. Oh, the CT players just get out of there when the NWP goes down. We are seeing a mid-walk from the T's, though. This is unexpected.
No one's accounted for it on the CT side. Coolio starting to make adjustments towards the CT spawn. Fleeve's orb's going to catch a kill. Smoke back as he recognises that mid could be compromised. Bit of a gap there. That might draw their attention away from the CT spawn itself, but Coolio's not watching that angle. Fleeve's got to get his press on the bomb carrier, and he just can't seem to do it. Savannah gets his kill, and it's a 3 versus 2. eSuba have the advantage, and the CTs might want to call this retake off.
They kind of have to go for it, though, because the problem is they don't have any money if they save onto the rifles itself. Out to the B stairs, we're seeing Luko just trying to see if he can follow up again. really important kills coming through. BP5 looked like they had a really decent read on it, and yeah, they are actually going to try and go for this.
It's risky. The economy's not quite there for them. Swinging the Bedito, checking the corner. Checking White. Looking even further. Won't catch Twist. Kills coming for him and Luko. And it all left to eSuba's favor. 4 each to the board, and BP5 have no money.
I like that they went for that, because honestly, they're going to eco next round as it is. What's 2M4s really going to do in terms of damage? You might as well have a crack and see if you can just create something. We saw in terms of the CT on rotates, so Fleeve is kind of stuck in the B bomb site. At least he smokes down to try and draw the attention away. As soon as he misses that shot out from the B stairs, it doesn't drop the bomb, makes it slightly more difficult. Luko, though, he's getting a lot of impact kills.
Oh, double nades. Nice and effective against the eco pistols. And already BP5 sat on the back foot with his stack out that is going very quickly awry. Bedito and Coolio. Bedito's on site already. Coolio is making his way up to position. The Deagle will fight but loses life. And yeah, easy eco here for the T's.
They've taken a fair bit of damage. It's just that none of those damaged up players have actually fallen at all. So no deaths coming through from the eSuba side. BP5 going to be able to get the buyback. Start wondering to yourself just how much more utility damage we're going to see, Jake, because, yeah, we might not see a double HE again.
Love that kill from Bloggis to close out the round. That was really solid stuff from him. Against rifle players that be even more oppressive, and they've got the chance to do so right here. Again, 5 M4s back out for BP5, and look at how fast Twist wants to make his way up. Smoke up the cross, recognizing that no one from the CT side is up here, no one even at the sandbags. Molotov's in, incendiaries to respond. Pechin has taken a bit of damage early, and Budapest 5 are just holding them off.
But this is definitely a change of pace coming through from eSuba, going quite quickly into that ramp take. Corey is waiting for a swing out. 3 players on 8 looking to try and fight. Bloggers out from the sandbags. Deal was that first.
Corey struggling to get that trade. Eventually catches him through the smoke. I think it's a 4 versus 4 with a slight HP advantage again above Petrin on eSuba. 2 players are tagged up from BP5, however, so the numbers game still kind of favors the T's. Smokes in. Aaron's going to have to back up here as it looks like execution time for the T side. Molotovs also continue. That bomb passed off to a backwards player. Nades and smokes in to extinguish those incendiaries, and Corey hoping to catch someone above that smoke. Will get boosted up, but seeing nothing. They're all coming in from side alley, including that bomb planter. Savani will end up falling. The bomb goes down.
Just going to get planted. Low HP player, not quite falling, but you've got to wonder about how much damage can really come through for eSuba. They're down to just a couple of players.
Yeah, Petchin's low as well. Twist has got to be the heavy lifter. BTs make their way up, looking for the defuse. Coolio's got the kit. Someone's got to swing towards it. He's being covered off, and there's the kill. Petchin a full. Twist will go down just as quickly, and BP5 will keep us at 5-5. Really back and forth game we're seeing here on Vertigo Play.
Yeah, it is, and it's another great multi-frag round to come through from Corey, holding himself really well out from the default position. That was even an opening kill to come through from Bloggis, and you have a look at that whole round and how it plays out. It seems as if BP5 are trying to get scrambled. So eSuba are going in for a quick ramp take, and they've got Luko that's just watching the backstab, maybe hoping that they can catch one of the B players getting really aggressive on rotation. Instead, for BP5, they played passive on A and on B directly. They never really gave up many fights in the open.
I'm going to force the issue every time. Up in for Bloggis. He's not going to get given up any particular kills in the CT forces. The smokes are up, the nades are in. Again, damage has been done to Petchin a start. 71 points of health for him, however, and not that much damage being done.
Even out to the B stairs, there's not really much attention being pulled. Luko's going to put some of the utility down, try and see if he can hold them at bay. Out to the ramp take once again. And we've seen for BP5 that from times they haven't mind putting Aaron towards the sandbags. He doesn't play there very often though.
On leaning up. Aaron set. Ready to receive. He ends up falling back, however. The nade's up. The CT's just spraying through, unable to connect anything. Smokes back. Incendiaries on. CT players trying to try and get forced away here. Again, the blind sprays will come through, and Luco going to run right into Fleave's crosshair. Had no idea of the bullets flying his way. Bloggers will also fall down to Corey. Aaron's held to the corner here at side alley. Gets Savannah next up. Looks on for the second kill. Drops that bomb. And Petrin in the 1 versus 5. The lockout round coming in for BP5, showing what confidence they can have at times.
Very impressive stuff in from BP5, and it just kills through smoke, isn't it? So much spam damage just come through. Another pick in from Fleeve. Aaron having a great sequence, looking back over to the alley entrance, out from the ramp position itself, dropping that bomb, and then just forcing Petchin to try and clutch all by himself. Not going to happen at all. We are going to see a tactical timeout coming through from the eSuba side, probably realizing, okay, we need to find some more consistency here on our T side.
And tactical timeout called in by them. Moment of opportunity here to try and rethink their strategy and discuss where they can go from here. BP5 established a hell of a lot of momentum right now on the CT side of things and could maintain it going further onwards. Actually, a technical pause, excuse me, from the eSuba side, which is fair enough, I guess, at this particular stage. Not sure what the issue is. Hopefully we'll find out very, very soon. I've got a great basis to rebuy, however. Savannah can invest. Luco's already done so. AWPs, AKs out. All the rifles to work in for the T-side line, but they're not quite getting the confidence that you hope from a T-side here on Vertigo.
No, they are being tested, and again, it does make a fair bit of sense. We came into this game sort of saying this is a very difficult one to weigh up. Both teams have very similar skill sets to one another. Both teams sort of on par of results and wins in the last sort of few months or so. We know that for eSuba, they lost to Blink in that quarterfinal playoffs of the Gyro 50 Masters League Season 2 event, which meant they weren't able to go to LAN. So I always get the feeling that for teams, when they play in other events and they miss big opportunities, you always want to bounce back into the next one even stronger. And for both of these teams, I think they've got their own sort of reason for why they want to get to the LAN. For eSuba, it would be great to be able to bounce back, play in another event, try and get there. For BP5, it's home turf.
Absolutely. As you mentioned before, obviously, with the nature of this of this situation in this tournament and in this series, BP5 have a lot of advantages to go with. Don't know if Vertigo was considered one of those map-ups, however, for them. Again, picked in by the eSuba side. Not gone as quite as well as they would have liked it to be, I think. This map, again, has only had a couple of results for BP5 at the very lower levels. So to see them hold their own against a team that you could argue have a better sort of spaces here, like, it's really encouraging, I think, for the Hungarians.
You'd think so. For sure, and we know too that for eSuba, their T side of Vertigo is actually very decent. So not being able to sort of lead from the front, being on the back foot as such when it comes to this map is not the best of signs. BP5 though, I guess for them, they just need to know that, all right, we've got to tighten up, because I think at one point last year, they were probably in the summer of 2020, they were ranked 41st in the world. And you look at them today and you think, geez, what's happened there? They're 131st now.
Big climbs. I love it at this stage here, the progress that all these tier 2 teams are making right now. I mean, still got a long way to go back up to get into those top 50, top 40 positions. I guess that's the question, really. Can these squads, can this team make it up to that sort of position? Do they have what's in them, or is there more work that needs to be done?
Well, it's an odd one with BP5 because there aren't that many strong Hungarian players out there that we don't know of. Do you know what I mean? Like, even in some of the other teams like B and Honvus, they're not exactly household names. So you don't have a great amount of talent pool to draw from for the BP5 side if roster moves were something that came through. And I guess that is a similar position for eSuba as well. Yeah, we've got Sinners that are doing very well in the Czech scene locally and internationally. Outside of eSuba as well, there aren't really that many top-end teams. I guess Enterprise in that sort of Czech and Slovakian scene as well are starting to do very well themselves. They were actually one of the teams that could not make it through in the Czech qualifier itself and went down to eSuba in that lower bracket semi-final game, eliminating them in 16-14, 16-14. So, yeah, both teams really trying to see if they can pull ahead.
That'd be another dream match right there. The Czech, the Czech derby between
Imagine
eSuba
that.
and Sinners.
Yes.
I feel like Sinners would still be favourites, however, given their success in the European scene.
I think so. Yeah.
But hey, listen, we can dream, you know. And as well as that, there's a very long disparity between them in terms of where we are. You know, back end of the lower bracket for this match here between eSuba and BP5. Sinners are already in the upper bracket finals. So a bit of work for eSuba to do if they want to try and meet those guys. And up against Onyx in the next round, it's not going to be an easy road to get there. Going to take it one game at a time. And right now, their game against BP5 is set to go back in live. 6-5 just joining us. BP5 have the lead on eSuba's map pick. On the CT half of the map pick. The team's playing their careful, passive default as standard. BP5 want to aggress.
It seemed as if Luco was holding the back end of the B stairs for a little while. Jiggle peeking coming out, not even seeing that lurker, so giving the indication, okay, probably going to be another one of these ramp defaults into the A site itself. Keep the pressure on because they're going to be coming to you.
Minute on the clock, and Luco's going to walk in with the bomb first. That could be disastrous if he goes down first as well. Will engage against Corey and get that kill. Aaron held back ahead of the sniper's nest. Fleet with his AWP pick, and Savannah does not even check that back corner. Just crosses right in front of him, gets killed off. Bloggers can respond and get a double up against the AWPer. So it's a 3-on-2 advantage for eSuba.
They needed a playmaker, and that's exactly what comes through. Bloggers out from the sandbags just pulls them out of a very difficult situation. Petito's been seen. Now the T's don't really need a peek. Another pick coming through from Bloggers. Okay, this is a guy we've got to keep our eyes out for.
Yeah, big 3 kills for the big green gun. AWP safe for Coolio now as he tries to get out of dodge and just hold on to that weapon for the next round for BP5. And eSuba just strike right back again. The back and forth game will just continue here.
Now, notice how different that settings to that A site is from the eSuba side. Normally, we just see the cross smokes, some flashes, and maybe a molly out from Orange. That time around, it's a lot drier. They don't have the approach of getting all of the util down. They want to try and see if they can commit some of the fights. And yeah, they do lose a lot of those early advantages. Look at where Aaron is. He's out in the open. Fleet looking for a pickback. Rather than being held behind the util, they're trying to force those fights from BP5. And eventually, Bloggers is able just to open up that site himself.
Those picks inappropriate. And again, the AWP striking hard and striking quick for eSuba. If he can be the main playmaker from here on out, that could be encouraging for him. Savannah out of the gates here with the AK in towards Ali. Corey does not expect him to be so close. See his crosshair not adjusting towards that corner. And he does see the man get his kill, start things off on the right foot.
And there was a very good chance he could have just overextended out to ramp itself and dealt with Aaron that got boosted up. Instead, it goes the other way, tries to work on the smoke. Was a counter boost in for a certain section of time there for the CTs. They have broken it apart and now not really getting that aggressive out from ramp itself.
Flashes in, Corey watching, Bloggis. AWP on rotation. Gonna catch off an angle into the back of the site. The CT is gonna hold a bit of a crack angle of his own right. The smokes inbound, the blind fire again for the CTs. Taps burst through. And a shot in does connect alongside Luco finding Bedito as well in the back of the site. A 4 versus 3 as eSuba clean house to get the bomb down.
I get the feeling the BP5 love that spot a little bit too much, don't they, Jay? We see a lot of players being boosted up, and straight away for Bloggers, as soon as he gets on the sandbags, he pre-aims it, will lose the trade out to the sandbags itself from the sniper's nest.
Back to a 3 versus 3. Fleeve going to try to turn it to the advantage, but just can't seem to see Luco. Must be aware that he's there. Twist is still on center of the site, though. He might become the next big thorn on their side. No, Aaron cleans up that kill. Petched also gets faced in upon, and Fleeve just holds his angle right up until the kill needs to come through, and BP5 continue to fend off eSuba, continue to find leads.
That was perfection, really. They've got 20 seconds on the clock. They don't have util. They've got 1 kit. Doesn't look great in terms of the retake. And instead, they just hold the crossfires really well. They wait for the overextensions to come through. This pick from Coolio onto the AWP pretty much with the round dealer. And for Petchin, doesn't find anything out from the sandbags. Fleeve for the AWP is keeping his eyes locked for a very long time out to that alley entrance. And you're right about this back and forth nature. I don't know when this will stop.
Once one team can connect 2 rifle rounds in a row, or maybe this one of the half buy for eSuba could allow the half to go the way of the T's, or of the CT side, I should say. I think when the Tech 9s, the Mat 10's going to try to go for a fast execution towards that B site. Incendiary's on, smokes down at the cross, Coolio's watching. AWP close, M4 in for Corey, gets his pick, can't hold on against Petchin, but doesn't matter, the rest of the rifles coming in pretty effectively, including no scopes, including spray downs. Luco holds the AWP position. Try to look for Aaron, and he does catch him, so damage even done to the CT forces. Is there any more ahead of their line?
Oh, okay. I was
No.
going to say yes if that kill came in, but yes, you are right. No, only that tag shot coming through, getting that leg off, not quite the whole kill overall. Really good read coming through from BP5 of just that split into that mid position, into the B site itself, leaving with the AWP doing as much damage as possible. Luco trying his best to bring him back a 1v4, did some decent damage, just wasn't enough, and that's really just the curse being broken ever so slightly, being able to push a couple of rounds in a row, and for BP5, they could make it 9 at the turn of the half.
Very possible, very likely, I want to say, but every time we see them pull ahead, eSuba finds some sort of responsive. And there's that start in for Bloggis again, the AWP picking up the starting frag. Coolio trying to trade it back onto Petrin and he will be successful. Taking a ton of damage to keeping it an even HP line. Luco is still going to look for that kill. Got close to spotting the man, but didn't quite capitalize with the shot.
He's missed his window of opportunity. That could have been a very easy pick, and that would have opened up the B side. He is waiting for a reposition, some sort of way that can force him out into the open, and Bloggis with the AWP, he's found his second kill of the round now.
And advantage turns back the favor of eSuba, with Coolio suddenly looking very, very awkward on that B site. Easy to pick, standing alone, no backup, and even rotating away towards Scaff. They smoke the crosses, they get to the site, they get the bomb down. From there, it's a man advantage in the retake, and that's exactly what the plan is. Coolio's got to get ahead of the curve, but how many kills can he get before he gets traded? Flashed out, blinded. They don't quite see him yet. The flashbang coming in from Aaron will allow one kill to come back for the AK. Not so much as the one, though. 3v2, bomb can get planted.
He did as much as he could. He was so low HP, and now it comes down to the retake. Is the timing from Fleeve. He saw the player, but just couldn't get the shot off.
A bit too far in. Side of the white box. Aaron going to start swinging, look towards the outside. AWP lands his shot, and it's all left to Fleeve in the 1 versus 3. Similar clutch towards the AWP of the last round for eSuba with 20 seconds. Kit in, got to win every single fight, and Bloggis just lets him go no further than a shoulder peek. As close half as you can get, 8-7 up for BP5, however, as I look towards the T side, and we look towards a break. Coolio straight up into the pistol round. Going to lead this charge in for BP5 to hold their own. Smokes out, USP watching. Shots out, could continue. Bloggis trying to look towards that backside and does catch off Fleeve. Out towards the ramp control. 5 on 4, turn back for Corey. He catches Bloggis getting aggressive as the bomb goes down. BP5 have the site, and eSuba gets getting aggressed upon, but Dita with the confidence alongside Aaron and Corey backing him up to get those kills together. Savannah and Twist so far away from position. And how do they get back into this with no kit and no util?
Yeah, Coolio's got to pull his attention back over towards the sniper's nest position itself. It does allow Twist to get a pick back. Aaron being able to deal with the ramp defender pretty much ends this round. Backstab even coming through for Bandito does get dealt with. Twist can't find any more than that. What a great setup coming through there from BP5. I like the way that they got the bomb down onto the side, and rather than just going back out to ramp and playing defensively, they actually push. They actually get further aggressively, have further util that goes down into the backlines itself, and for eSuba, they had no idea that aggression was coming towards them.
Yeah, just so far forward, so aggressive, and so quickly in from BP5. eSuba caught so flat-footed. The scouts in the Bloggis. I think those early kills back in for their own right. Nades up towards the top of that ramp control. And again, force the CTs away, knowing that they've gone aggressive. BP5, of course, with a weapon advantage thanks to that bomb plant. And, of course, the round win itself. Scout, SMG being the main two weapons for Bloggis and Twist.
They're still keeping the pressure on, though. They keep looking into this ramp take. They want to see if they can get some further tags up with that Scout itself. Decent utility is going to start driving them away. Bloggis is not moving about, though.
Continues peeking, dishing out some damage. There is some potential in this round. Kind of in the way of the eSuba cab. To get those pistols in the right positions, catch off Corey and Fleeve, and that would be the starting point. Flashes in, Mac-10 sprayed through, and indeed, Luco can catch Corey, kick things off on the right foot.
It just helps that he's already tagged up quite heavily. 3 players up on this A site itself, and Bloggis actually gets a pick with the Scout onto Coolio.
It's a high HP player straight to his head. Fleeve could still be susceptible. He's going to be first face round against the pistols. 257's around this corner. First frag found. Petchen's going to wait in the corner. Be out and aggressive and a bit of an off angle, and eventually gets that kill with his 2 teammates acting out from the ramp entrance. Aaron with a kill on Bloggis. Got to look back over at the tops at the alley entrance. 30 seconds. And Bedito is trying to find an angle on the site here. He's exposed towards both entryways, though, so no matter where he goes with this, he's got to get support from Aaron, ideally, to get Petchen to drop over towards the alley position, and finally that kill comes in. Now the bomb can go down, but Bedito's backed off, and the kills come in at the right time. Aaron's got clutches in a 1 versus 1. Looking for Twist around the corner, and the SMG can win that fight. Hold the round for eSuba.
I have no idea how Twist won that. Honestly, he's so low HP, and he's just trying to play time. He's getting out to that CT area, just being like, right, I don't want to take this fight, and instead it actually gets drawn towards him. Fleeve is not really able to deal with this 5-7. So much time stalling, and when that pick comes into Aaron, you can see the way that this round is going to go back. 3 kills, not quite the 4th. I don't know how Twist has done that.
A hell of a start. Hell of a way in for him, and Savannah's going to kick things off on the right foot again with the SMG. MP9's reigning supreme here for the CTs. Kills in, Corey down, Bedito locked out with taps forward to the Deagles and the flashbangs and such. I'm going to try 4 CT players away, which will be semi-successful, but the main concern is going to be that firepower basis.
You've got to imagine that it's going to be quite dry up to this B site itself, and being able to have 2 anchors from the CT bases here on B is going to be very difficult for the T's to deal with.
Racing in around this corner, boost up Coolio and Bedito. Push that bomb in, try and get aggressive early. Nades on his position, and Twist does not even need any utility. Just straight kill on Flea with his shot. Twist can respond, leaving Bedito standing alone. Easy pickings for Twist. Quadra out for him. An easy round for the CT side as BP5 fall apart and have only the basic eco.
A good sequence in from the B-side players. Being able to recognize the play. Yeah, Bloggis gets absolutely domed by Fleeve on rotate out from CT spawn itself. Really, though, it was the 2 players on B that just peeked on one another, continued doing damage. And even though Petchen and Savannah haven't managed to get many kills, we had that 1 round for Savannah where he got a 4K, it's been the other players of Luco, Bloggis, and Twist that have really been able to find their impact.
At their moments. AWP and Bloggis looks to have a bit more impact right here. Deal with these eco pistols effectively with the AWP in hand. Seeing Fleeve catching that first frag. Well timed against this peek out. Shots on, kill found, 5 on 4. Might continue down that route.
Oh, lovely shooting coming through for the AWP. Making a 3K? Ah, it's quite dry out from ramp itself. Pistols aren't really doing much. Easy pickings coming through for Bloggis.
Simple. 2 left standing. 1 left standing. Bomb dropped. And Twist will close up the job. Not quite a lot of money gained by the SMGs, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It's a round at the end of the day, and eSuba can start to really mount up their CT half, except for the pistol has gone swimmingly so far.
And I'm starting to look at Bloggis and thinking to myself, in a few years' time, right, he could be getting the call up to Sinners. Because what, Oscar's what, 30, 31 now? He's not got another 10 years in him. I mean, maybe he does, right? But I have a look at the potential for this guy. I think if he keeps going home, then hang on, we could see more. And what we are seeing is a quick play out to the B stairs. Aaron just getting that opening kill.
And SMG being the solo holder of that stairs entrance, easy for the AKs to overwhelm, and Badito can double up by taking out Twist in the back line. So 4 versus 3. Incendiary is on that bomb plant position. Badito is forced to unstick the bomb plant for a couple seconds, put that smoke up to extinguish, put the bomb down in the end. The nades on, however, tagging him, taking him down. 3-on-3 scenario.
And they weren't able to deny that bomb, and even Aaron just trying to see if he can play in and around those smokes. They're trying to see if they can bait out an over-aggressive peak.
Smoke on should siphon off one T-side player. Fleeve with a swing. SMG comes up with a kill alongside Luco, dealing with Fleeve close, leaving it all to Coolio in the backline. Should be known. Luco picking up the kit. AK's close, spray through, and Luco bails out his teammate to enable the Quadra and enable the round for eSuba.
Now, Luco's thinking to himself, finally I've got a rifle, because this entire map I've just been playing with MAC-10 or MP9 or whatever it's been. It's always SMGs, and while the majority of the damage came through with that SMG, it was the rifle that finished it off. BP5, they could have got that bomb down straight away, maybe thinking the incendiary was going to spread onto the position itself. eSuba getting up to 11, and now we start really seeing, at least in the scoreline, eSuba is starting to run away with it.
And again, it's all down to Luco, Blogis, and Twist are the guys that are getting all the impact. Luco with a Quadra in that last round. Corey spray forward, trying to try and look for the boys in over a scaff. Might change direction and go towards the A site if they so desire. Whichever way they decide to go with this one, it's just going to be easy pickings, it feels like, for BP5. I say that, and Blogis and Twist hold the crossfire, get 2 picks in out towards the CT spawn. A third player is also out there. Badito caught as Twist takes the double up. The bomb gets dropped. Aaron will fall next, and it looks like a very different round by comparison to the start that eSuba had.
It's like a bull in the china shop, isn't it? We're seeing 2 rounds in a row where it's just hyper-aggression. It's just so much pace. And for eSuba, they're getting the read on that. They're playing passive. They're waiting for the overextension to come through from City Spawn. No one falls at all. BP5, where's the patience? Where's the slow, methodical defaults? Instead, it's just rushing.
Not a bad question, honestly. So fast, so loose, and unfortunately so disastrous in that round for the eSuba camp. Up all the frags, BP5 struggling heavy, struggling very, very hard. 12-9, still yet to score off the back of that pistol round. Deagle's in for this one. Half buy involved for BP5.
And just know themselves to eSuba, we don't really need to take that many aggressive contacts. Yeah, they are spamming through the wall itself, out to the banger position of yellow, just trying to see if they can get any early connections itself. You don't want to be losing players, because otherwise you'll be losing the amount of AKs they recovered in that last round.
Yeah, 4 of them involved in this particular round. Of course, all the firepower to work with going into the guns rounds, where they have the head Kevlar. For this one, it's simple kill for Corey. Follow-up for Blogis, not quite as effective. The spray's through from Petchin. Fleeve turns into a decent pick of his own right, but now Petchin's covered off on all fronts. Needs backup from Twisted. We'll get there. Badito turns it in. It's a 1 versus 3 all of a sudden. Looks like this eco might still work out for BP5. Kit in for Savannah, trying to work in and catch these players off at the side alley at the sandbags. 1 player on site as well. Trying to switch out to an AWP, I'd assume. The incendiary on. Badito will get caught sprayed up. Second player also could get spotted. He's looking into the back lines of the T's rotate away. 20 seconds left for Savannah. If he's going to work, he's going to have to do this right now. The smoke on the bomb missed out. The sprays continue to come forward. And now he wants that AWP. He just wants to save.
It's a safe call, and honestly, I don't blame him at all. I almost blame the teammates, really, because that should never have happened. You're up against Deagles, you're not up against the biggest Abayas in the world, and instead they just start getting domed. We're not really seeing kills on the site. Twist get 1, Petchin get 1. Where's the multi-frags? Where's the 2K, the 3Ks? Well, they're just not there at all. Very light on the util for the T side. Yes, you've got the Deagles and the Kevlar. In terms of being able to convert around like that, that should never happen.
After the momentum that eSuba had established themselves with as well. Should have, in theory, just been a simple 13-9, 14-9 sort of scoreline, but now BP5 have bought themselves a second chance, a second lifeline here in this game. Of course, weapons back out on the rebuy. Plenty of cash available for the CTs, and that AWP Blog is trying to aggress for it. Badito just spraying through that smoke, hearing the tags of the Molotov that went out early, and catching that opening frag.
Just well-timed, coming through from that peak from Badito. Yeah, there's not a lot of vision in that situation itself. Being able to pull some of the nades back over to Coolio, probably because Corey wants to entry out to that ramp position, doesn't want to afford to lose any of the utility.
Flashes in to enable the T-side players to start moving up. Utility inbound, the smoke's off. Molotov's in. Walks begin for Budapest 5. Nades up, damage is going to be done in light amounts. Only those light amounts, though. The hit should come through towards the A site. Wraparounds and the backstabs are going to try and come in. They'll hear the footsteps of the players up at alley. How long will it take for this retake to get set up, though?
Yeah, you'd have to imagine a while. And in terms of time stalling, there's not really much they can do on this A site itself by just trying to get distractions, spam through that smoke. They don't allow that bomb being denied. And even Coolio is watching out towards his ramp position, seeing that first player, does get picked off. Luca gets 2. What is going on? Luca gets 3.
That round just fell apart like a wet biscuit in an instant. Bedito left to clutch it in a 1 versus 4. He gets 2 picks, but they're on the defuse. 5 seconds to it with a kick. He gets the triple. Got facing on Pension. Oh my god, the full ace! What the hell was this round? BP5 coming out on top by the skin of their teeth. Twag, what's going on?
I am so lost. I don't know what is happening in that round. It looks like Luco has had the most insane sequence from ramp, and then Patino wins a 1v4. Oh my goodness, they stuck the bomb. They just couldn't get it. The AWP misses the shot. Patito, one of the biggest clutches we're going to see this entire tournament.
I don't even know what to think after that. That's caught me so far out of left field. It must have caught both sides out of left field. Definitely caught BP5 for a loop. They've just called for the tactical timeout. I don't know what just happened, and I'm still reeling. Maybe eSuba as well. They could have had that round. 0.1 of a second left on the defuse. The kill just barely came in at the right timing. And guns are out for both sides. AKs, AWPs, M4s, the works. eSuba have had all their economy whittled down, however.
What a round. And that, it keeps them in the map, honestly, because you think about the circumstances of eSuba winning that, resetting the money, being able to get up to 13. You can pretty much put them on victory road. And now for BP5, winning a 1v4, it keeps you in the zone and keeps your mentality up quite positively. eSuba just looking to try and bounce back. They've got a player out to the sandbags itself. One of the first times we've actually seen them do this in the second half. Overall, though, out from mid and the B site itself, it's very passive. Not many aggressive duels coming out from them at all.
Walks in from BP5. Will try to get himself set up into that ramp position. Flashes forward, the AWP covering off the main T side. Force they walk up. Luco behind the sandbags is just going to wait here. Incendiary just going to force him back out. Smoke actually doesn't even need to get thrown. It completely missed. The T's are caught completely unawares of this. Luco could be in the winning position right here. His teammates are backed up passive. He's just going to wait. He's just going to hold off until the timing's right. The Molotov will get Pedito meanwhile. Walks in. Corey could also be spotted. Players up to the spray. Easy picks back. And now flees to tension. Turner's Petchin takes his swing. Aaron comes up with his kill, but it doesn't last long. And eSuba, that is the kind of round we should have been seeing from them.
It absolutely is. And that's really smartly played from Luco, that once he realizes that pops in the air and doesn't land, okay, don't put the smoke down. On the counterpart, though, surely BP5 must have known that that didn't land. They didn't hear it. They didn't see the Molotov going down. So, oh, okay, let's get another molly forward. Let's make sure we're checking the sandbags. Oh, it missed. Okay, we're just not going to look there.
BP5 back down to the half bar. You mentioned the reset potential that eSuba had in the previous round. It was still there for this one. Shots on. Petchin will be able to get Bedito. Drop that start. The Deagle firing his way through back below the ramp. Control nades on. Not quite catching their picks, but either way, simple stuff for these rifles. BP5 down to 3 men.
Just a bit of a taste of their own medicine, just being spammed up in ramp, because honestly, for eSuba, they took so many deaths and just tags in that ramp position behind the smokes, whether it was kills, whether it was HGs, whether it was just straight bullets coming through. Now we're starting to see it actually go the other way. And even for Blogus and Petchin, they're still aggressive in the 5v3 at ramp.
Corey caught. Blogus reducing them to 2 now. 1 now. AWP Can't quite catch the last man, but Petchin will. All 5 alive for eSuba, continuing to work their way back up into that map and, well, map point and map victory, I guess. Their own pick, and BP5 have given it a pretty decent try. At certain points, you thought maybe they could have taken control of this, but eSuba are right back in the driver's seat. Now half by leads into one more gun round for BP5 to try stay alive.
It's definitely been a close map, not only by the scoreline, but just how the rounds have been played out. And for BP5, they're not going to go down without a fight. Out to this ramp contact, the AWP is still very aggressive from Bloggers.
Saw one player at the gap and a smoke. Great flashes in to try and drive the CT players away. One man's going to stick around and Petchin will be able to open up the round itself. But Luko can turn back in a second man. Tech flashed in for a secondary pick back. Look for his triple and everything falls apart again. The Budapest 5. Coolio can't clutch this one. It's map point for eSuba.
Well, I'm definitely a Luko fan, I'll tell you that much. This guy is just insane. He's so exciting to watch, and he's the in-game leader of this side, Jay, and he doesn't mind to make those risky moves. Flashes in, take the contact, continue drivingly aggressively. Even after that first pick in a 5v4, they could have just gone back and played passive, just played the numbers game. Instead, no, we want to keep fighting. We want more damage.
More guns out. BP5 with one final force invest. Fortunately, full AKs across the board, but such a limited amount of utility. Execution potential is virtually none. A flash and a smoke. And a boost up that goes awry. Twist finds his pick in, deals with Aaron, deals with Bidito as well. And yeah, this should start to spell the end now for BP5.
Just a lack of playmakers in this second half. We're seeing Twist do a lot of work, Luko too, Bloggers with that orb. And for BP5, the star players just haven't been able to really find some form. In this situation, yeah, there's a lurk out from the B stairs itself. More damage coming through. Petchin does get caught off and Coolio gets a pick. They are recovering the trades at least.
Bloggers gets a wall bang headshot. Where did that come in from?
Yeah. No idea.
Was that out towards mid, I think? I think he was working in from the scaff position. He might have got it through that box in the corner. Either way, eSuba have the man advantage again. BP5 have done well to get themselves back out of dodge. But again, the issue is just the fact that they've got such little to work with going into these hits. The execution hits, the execution shots just need to be absolutely perfect. If they're anything less, this round is done. At least they have a pretty open and free A site.
There's a lot of respect being given up. They're playing this very passive. They're playing it very retake heavy, and it's smart. You've got a lot of nades. You've all got kits. Don't start taking aggressive fights on the A side. Now they're going to start working together. Now that they're thinking about a play with the time being low.
Incendiary on face in. Bloggis goes down. Corey equalizes to 2 versus 2. Then games against the player back at the snipers. That's Luko on 2 points of HP. Alongside Twist coming in with the AK. Flashbang forward. Luko's low. He has to rely heavily on his teammate because he's a dead man walking. And exactly Coolio proves just that. Corey sees the last. Coolio going to wrap in to back him up. Incendiary onto the right-hand side. No smoke for Twist to go for the ninja. Will take engagement, but Coolio swings at the same time. And BP5 stay alive.
And maybe this is the lack of inexperience for eSuba of what is happening in this situation. They've got a 5-on-3 advantage. The round looks done. What util have you got for Budapest 5? They've got a decoy, no smoke, no HE, no molly. They've got nothing. And then just they start working the picks and eSuba start giving up opening man advantages. Great recovery coming through from the Hungarians. And that maybe is the difference maker between the two in certain rounds, is the experience that these two teams have in such a different parallel.
Tactical timeout called in for eSuba here. Appropriate. Given the circumstances, they were within touching distance, and they still are within touching distance of getting this map under wraps. Closing against Budapest 5. We've seen how this Hungarian team have battled back from the brink, though. AK's on 3, Galil, AWP. Rifles are standard, utility sets in. Fleeve watching for that first contact as the AWP the CT side bears down upon them from Ali.
That's a decent read, because it looks like Bloggers is doing exactly that. Yeah, Fleeve winning the AWP v AWP duel, looking for another follow-up. And now for eSuba, they've lost the opening man advantage out from ramp. They're going to start having to make a play, make some info moves on the CT basis.
Shots ringing. Org watching T-side players rapping and moving their way up into the B play. Savannah's a solo holder. You have to smoke down. Depression for now.
It just comes down to time wasting. In terms of rotations, they're going to be slow, very slow. So all of this time that can be stalled by Savannah is going to allow the CTs to get into some decent positions. And actually, BP5 want to go back over to this A site. A late rotation. I guess Fleeve hasn't seen anything aggressive out from the ramp position itself. So, okay, let's bring that bomb back into A. And it's a gamble stack in mid and B for eSuba.
And Coolio still making noise as well over on this B stairs position. His teammate's going to walk out towards that A play. And that could be another round. Yeah, Smokes and Molotovs continuing to come in. Twist going to try and aggress. Will miss his window opportunity. Coolio gets out of dodge. CT player drops in, and still Coolio wins that fight. But now info has been gained. Now they know that there's no one here on the B site. It's just that one lurker. And the bomb will be going down. Petchin will try wrap in towards the ramp. Entrance. Coolio watching him from ladder. Probably heard those footsteps of the player walking back upstairs to go towards the mid control and save the weapons. Because right now, eSuba are going to need them.
They put themselves in a situation where you play the risk anytime you gamble stack, and because they lost that opening fight out from ramp in the AWP duel, okay, let's just try and gamble stack. We know that there's a lurk here at least of one player out from the B stairs because all of this util's coming through from Coolio. So let's work with the information we found already. We'll be able to all play together as a stack, and unfortunately it just doesn't quite come through. Corey's just looking for any of these saving CTs. They're very close to one another, except they're on top of one another.
13th on for BP5. Again, trying to make this as even as possible and try to steal their opponent's map pick if it is possible. Played themselves so well to deal with the CT aggression. It's what the whole round was based off of. No save weapons for eSuba. Going to give them one final buyback here. This will be the last gun round of the half. And a regulation could be on for overtime if it let's get to that point, because the follow-up round will just be a straight-up force. The eSuba probably won't be able to match up to BP5 for that.
I don't think we've seen an overtime just yet. We've seen some 16-13s,
no?
We've seen some 16-14s. In terms of really stretching the distance, that is a new element that we're here to try and see if we can see. Fleeve waiting for another one of these AWP picks to come through. AWP battle doesn't seem like it's going to come in straight away.
Lean ups with the nades, the AKs, damage done to the first Aluko. Blogis get his kill, gun barrel seen, CT is close, and the bait and switch distraction allows a secondary kill to come in for those CT players. And with a responsive, Fleeve's got to stay alive to grab that bomb and rotate it into whatever site. It does get picked up actually by Coolio, as Fleeve continues to work out towards the ramp control, and Aaron's mid lurk could lean into a backstab.
You'd have to imagine that for Aaron, he has to follow up again. He's got to try and stay alive. Don't lose any further advantages in this situation. Has to try and peek it to the AWP up, brings it back to a 3v3. That's now attention being brought over. Petchin might think about starting to move into mid rather than staying on A.
He's waiting back at that boost spot position. He's going to wait for T-side over aggression rather than leaning into the site defensive itself. We're going to start the lean. Footsteps might not be heard just yet, but slow rotates come back from eSuba as they recognize no one's going towards this B-site play. 25 seconds. Smoke down. I think that might not cover the cross for Coolio. He could drop the bomb right here. Incendiary is on through Smoke's engagement. Petchin wins an all-important fight. That's out in the open. That might be enough for the CTs to hold it here. He's going to keep his crosshair locked in that gap. Sees the man, comes up with another good kill. And 10 seconds for Fleeve to get 3. So long as one man stays alive, eSuba are fine, as it will be 16-13 on the board for the CT side as eSuba take their map pick.